Okay, here we go. So I got some pictures. This is ridiculous. This fall and winter, the two turkeys have been trying to attack me and Brenda, not the guys, just us. As you can see, they want our shoes, they want our peck, our feet, they like our trousers, they like us in general. You could just literally be looking out the back door and they'll start making these noises because they recognize you and they want to come and, what I call play, but they want to come and peck you. Wendy is acting like a male. As you can see, she's pushed out her tail and puffed out her chest and her face is darkening and she's making all these noises. So we think that she's simply trying to defend YB because she's kind of dominant in the relationship. She's not a hermaphrodite, but she does have these male attributes of trying to fight. So it's really interesting. They're a couple. We just have the two, Miss Wendy and YB, and they're, I think, two and a bit years old. So they're doing fantastic. And I'll let past them. This is Benny. He's a little bit injured because he got into his first fight with Bo. He's the same age as those other new hens because we got them all as, we didn't get them, we have them as chicks that hatched out from Softy, which is a larger ginger hen in here. And they've just grown amazingly. Benny is going to get darker legs and spurs, but for now he's growing his tail, he's getting more muscly, and he got into a fight because he's obviously the only other big male to challenge Bo, the main rooster that's him next to Benny. But Bo has a bad leg and it's possible in the next few months and in the summer that he will be overthrown by Benny. But for now, he's keeping Benny in his place. That's why Bo doesn't have any injuries and Benny does from the other day. As you can see, they look nearly identical. This is because he's the father on the right and he's the son on the left. Really the same genetics. Benny's tail will get a lot bigger and a lot greener like Bo's there. Bo got frostbite in his last few years, so that's why his comb is small. And on the left you see Benny's comb with some black on the end. That is frostbite, and that's going to come off eventually. And he will also have a smaller comb, which is really sad, but there's not a lot you can do to avoid it. We have a very well insulated coop, but because those things stick out from the body, it would be like sticking a finger out of your outside of a glove when you're out in the snow. It's going to get, as an extremity, it's going to get severely cold and eventually get frostbite. Right there in the middle between those two is one of the oh gosh, it's not a new hen, I'm confused. I think that is oh gosh, Hilly. Gosh, I'm so confused because she looks the same size as Benny. That's Hilly, she's the skittish white hen, and over here is Dilly, the not so skittish white hen, which I petted a lot and kept in the hen sling, baby sling, a year and a half, 2 years ago. She has a different comb, that's how I recognise her, and Hilly has 5 things on top that are equal on her comb, and Dilly has a more spaced out V in hers, and she's always a lot cleaner. She isn't right now, but normally she is. And then behind them sheltering is Baldy, which her real name is Lofty. She's called Lofty because she was skittish when we first got her, and she's nicknamed Baldy right now because she got half of her feathers pecked out and pushed out by having rough sex with Bo the rooster. Because she was the head hen, she got mated the most. She lost a lot of her feathers on her back, which you can kind of see. The feathers on her back are smaller, they're growing back. And her wings look pretty pathetic because there's hardly any feathers on them. But we had her in a baby outfit that I put on her and cut out the wings. And that, yes, the turkey's getting more excited. And that helped to grow the feathers back while it started to get cold, and then in the end, a week ago, I took the outfit off and the feathers are grown enough that they're not getting knocked off. They're not really having as much mating anymore, so they're able to grow back without being damaged. And she's doing fantastic, and maybe I'll start to call her a real name again now she's coming back. This is Softy. She's the mother of the 4 chickens that have just grown up a little bit. The chicks were born, I believe, maybe April. I might be wrong. I can't remember. She did start off with about 8 eggs, which went down to 6, and then we ended up with 4 hatching out. And one of them we helped, which was Thunder. We helped Thunder hatch out from her egg because she was very weak. And at that point, all the chicks were yellow. You didn't know which one was going to be ginger and which were white. As it happens, there was 3 white and 1 ginger. That's why, with the ginger one, her mother is either Softy or Lofty. And she's taken those characteristics. But then the white ones over here, which is actually not right there, they're outside, but they look like that. They have the attributes of the bow. So, yeah, it's kind of confusing, but anyway, the one ginger hen, we helped her hatch out, and she's called Thunder because while we were hatching, while she was poking out, we heard a clap of thunder in a day that wasn't really stormy, so that name stuck. She's a little darling, and she has beautiful markings. But yeah, she's back inside, looking very happy. And they're all huddling over here to keep warm. It's a kind of snowy day, it's not too cold. I'm going to go out and look at the rest of the yard. Yes. But yeah, the coop is very well insulated. You can see kind of in here, all of the door when me and Ethan made this is stuffed with loft insulation. Cobwebs I need to clear. The actual coop is very thick and windproof, which is really all they need. We may do more, but once you do more to make it warm, you find in summer it gets too hot, and then they're in danger of getting overheated and dying from that. So it's a fine line to keep the coop built for both extreme seasons. This is the pen, I've probably shown it before, that was built a while ago now, more than a year ago. Pretty complicated to do, but it turned out very well. It's attached to the coop over here next to the door, using wood and old railroad ties, rail sleepers, and then those are in the ground very deep with concrete, and then chicken wire in between. This is attached to the tree. Naturally the fence goes up and is attached to the tree up there, so you don't need any more wood. And then simply these T posts, and then down either side it's also like that, and it blends in with the environment. That's the best thing about it. You can hardly even see, especially with the snow, that there's a pen there, but that pen is for when we need the chickens to be in safely, not near the fence, or when we're out and about they're protected and we know where they are. We only have them out if we're in the house or in the yard, so because they are wild, but they're pets and we don't want them to be somewhere where we don't know. So the pen is there for those times when we're out. And right now they're coming in at about 5:15, which is when it gets dark. I'm going to follow Benny. He's acting more nervous because he's injured and lost a bit of confidence. But I'm going to catch him later and check out his frostbite and his injuries, but he seems to be doing fine. They're hard to catch unless they're inside the coop. I didn't pet them enough when they were babies, well, we didn't. But once we start petting them more, picking them up more, they'll be used to more attention. It's like a cat and a dog. You have to give them regular physical attention for them to get used to it. Otherwise they have an issue until they're being held, and then they're normally calm. That's catching them that's the problem. And right now they're not really running anywhere because they know it's cold. They're trying to conserve their energy. That's why they're not really running away from me much. Okay, so Snowball seems to be hanging out on his own still. He's pretty tough rooster. Both the little silkies, it's hard to even call them roosters, but they are. And they have black skin and funny feathers on the feet, and they look kind of like a long-haired rabbit chicken. But they're a very strange breed, but they're very sweet. And soon they're going to be very small and lowest on the pecking order again now that the other young chickens are growing up. But they don't mind. They're perfectly happy. A pair of the roosters. Here's Taco. And yeah, they're just really very sweet. Very nice natured chickens. But tough too. And very streetwise, and they more sensible with what they're doing with foraging for food, our other chickens got a bit lazy and would only stay in this vicinity to eat where we feed corn and feed. But the little roosters, when we got them from a farm that had turkeys and chickens and silkies, they came from a very good home there, and they seemed to know what to do. They went up in the woods and foraged, and that encouraged all our other poultry to go up there too. And there is a further fence up there, and was supposed to be a couple of gates, but openings for gates that I haven't built yet, which holds them in, so they can't just fly off onto somebody else's land unless they flew over the fence. The fence is a deterrent. They're very unlikely that they would run away. They know where they live, but this is about as free range as you can get. These are very happy chickens. The egg, what I call the egg production, I joke about, is low right now, but that's normal in winter. They don't stop laying completely because they eat so well and they're very happy, which means that they're healthy and they'll keep laying. We get maybe one every few days between 5 hens. 2 of the hens, I'm sorry, 7 hens. 3 of the hens don't really lay yet because they're so small, the new ones, the young ones, but we have had a couple which are smaller, which we know are from them. They'll lay permanently soon, but probably not much till spring. Then the other 4 hens, the 2 older white and the 2 ginger, lay sparsely now, but we were having between 3 and 4 a day, about 3 to 6 weeks ago. This is, I think it's Maggie, could be Black Spot. I'm going to have to make some proper identification and draw their combs, because now they're all fluffy and it's kind of hard to tell the difference. But she's underneath me and Ethan's window. A lot of the chickens gather here. This is the warm side of the house. This is where the sun hits, as our side of the house gets very hot in summer, and then in winter it doesn't get as cold as the other side, which is great, but not so good in summer. But all the chickens shelter here in the mornings. As you can see, the snow is melting in this area first, and they'll come and peck and crow and whatever else. So we just sleep through it sometimes because we know that that's normal. Yeah, I shouldn't have left my shoes out here. Oops. I left my shoes out and they've got a little bit damaged and wet. I'll sort that out soon. But so pool, ready for winter. This just kind of water gathered into it. That's the level the pool is at right now. We don't empty it completely. You have milk jugs holding the weight down of this tarp, because as you can see, it's pretty flimsy in terms of if wind comes, it lifts the whole thing up like a tent, and without these jugs to hold it, the weight evenly, it would just fly off. And then you'd end up with leaves and twigs and goodness knows what else in the pool, and the water wouldn't stay clean next summer. So we stay organised and be ready for the next time we open it. We have, those are our pine trees, the boundary with the neighbour's land, random barbecue, and our fire pit, which is a pile of snow with stuff underneath it right now. The children's play area is still here. Still kind of works, it's just a bit rusty, needs oil. It's our new rope swing Ethan built with not climbing ropes, but like a climbing rope. I don't think they're as thick as that. No, they kind of are, but the inside is different to a climbing rope, as you can see. It's the perfect level to swing, but not the best weather to swing right now. This is just like that because of the snow. It's not that we're messy people. The tetherball is flat because Ethan hit it with it was an Atlas old art. But we do use that in summer. We have to put a ball on it. This is like Gran's old washing line. We use this in summer. A bench that needs fixed, which is on a slant. Holly tree. We have honeysuckle here, which was growing up until a few weeks ago, but isn't now. But it has some nice berries on it. I think those are honeysuckle. I think this is another one growing on top that isn't honeysuckle. I'm not sure, but this is a tree stump underneath here. You can barely see it. And this is the tree that Ethan chopped his foot on when he was chopping it down and chopped his foot 2 years ago. So it's a funny thing that's still there, but it's very pretty, but it has that associated with it. This area is my wildflower circle. Right now they're dead. shrubs and wildflowers, but I cleared it all out very well and dug it and ploughed it and cleared out rocks and old strange yellow plant. It's like roots of a weird weed that was very, very thick with a yellow inside. I'm not really sure what it is, but I got rid of a lot of that. So then this next summer, this will be very pretty again. It gets, as you see from this one here, they get extremely tall, these wildflowers and shrubs. This is my other wildflower garden. And then I've got some nice icicles. This is the rhododendron, I think, or hydrangea. I always get mixed up. I think it's rhododendron. Always forget which one it is, but it looks nice in the snow. This is mine and Brenda's garden. On the left here was my vegetables and flowers, and then over here is all of hers. And round the corner too. The fence is nice and completed. It all matches with the porch, but it's white. And then our hanging baskets, we didn't do those this year, but they this one's very pretty with the icicles. That one just had weeds in it, but we did have tomatoes in them before. But yeah, it's pretty warm out here considering it's not exactly that cold than it was the other day. So just hoping it's not going to freeze tonight because it's Thanksgiving tomorrow and we've got to drive a little way to go to Kendra's house to celebrate it. This is how much snow came yesterday. No plants that are dead, but they'll leave them there till next spring. Yeah. Well, hopefully you guys watched this video. It's coming long, but I just want to show you around the yard, and all our chickens are just different every year. The animals change. The things are just moving forward always. So this is what we are right now. This is like this because the disc on the right was what the ice that was in the food bowl, which is water bowl, which you clear out so they can have water that's liquid and not ice. And then the top of the water bath there, bird bath, is not on because it just falls off because it's broken. But generally the yard looks pretty good. Hello, Benny. Chickens are lovely. So they're having some cracked corn. There's not a lot else for them to eat right now, but we keep them well fed, and then tomorrow they're going to be locked in case somebody comes by and thinks they want to take a turkey for their dinner. And that'll be nice for them to have a day inside. It won't do any harm. It's not every day, it's only occasionally, so we can make sure we know that they're safe while we're out for the day having a celebration. And yeah, thank you for watching the Farmyard of Opossum Hollow tour, winter 2013. I'm sure it was very exciting for you, but it's pretty cool living here with all these birds and in this area, so I want to share it with you since you haven't seen it yet. Alright, I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon, and wish you were here, and talk to you soon. Bye.